right, let's do this on a Thursday afternoon. Corey Johnson back at you. Glad you're with us on this gorgeous day in New Orleans. My God, 53 degrees, sunny outside. Get outside and enjoy it. Just absolutely fantastic weather. Very nippy this morning. It was cold this morning, but then it kind of went from really cold to just cool and comfortable. And it's been that way all day. And like I said, sunny, incredible weather. Tomorrow we might hit 67. Then 30s, 40s, and 50s through the weekend into next week. Yeah, I mean, what? Last week, for about 2 weeks straight, we had this like summer thing going. And now we're actually in winter in January in New Orleans. It's nice. Great thing about New Orleans, I mean, this doesn't apply exactly to the weather we're having right now, but when it gets to like 30 degrees, in like 36, 48, 72 hours or so, it's going to be right back up to 60. So it might take us till next Tuesday, but I like the wintry mix. I liked having that summer weather a few weeks ago. I got no problem with that. That's why I love New Orleans' non-summer season. We don't have 4 seasons. We have 6 months of summer and we have 6 months of non-summer. Don't really have a spring or a fall, although we get spring and fall-like weather in that non-summer season. No, I love it. Gets cold for a few days, warms up for a few days. You can wear like shorts, go to the beach. A few days later, got to get the big coat out. The scarf, the gloves, the hat. Love New Orleans weather, the non-summer season especially. Got a good one lined up for you. Steve Nelson's going to join us in the 5 o'clock power hour. He is the Deputy Chief Administrative and Interim Director of Public Works. He's a deputy mayor under Helena Moreno, the new mayor, city of New Orleans. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, I almost said LaToya Cantrell, Junkie Cantrell. It's 8 years of that. It's hard to get it out of your head.
Not anymore, baby.
No, exactly. Such a blessing.
It's nice.
Because that was like someone taking a lead pipe to your kneecaps.
Yup.
Like
after a bad coach or whatever in sports, same thing.
Yep.
Very refreshing.
Boy, how about Harbaugh going to the Giants?
I'm glad he didn't go to the Falcons.
Well, me too. Honestly. But think about that. I mean, just Harbaugh. He's like, am I going to go to Atlanta or New York?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on. Am I going to go to Atlanta, just a regular city in America, or I'm going to go to New York, like what's the little thing on the watch called? The little stem that you wind the watch? That New York's like the mover of the planet, like the first domino. The rest of planet Earth follows New York.
Yes, never sleeps and whatnot.
No, it's an incredible city. That's my second favorite city in the world. I mean, I remember one day just in New York walking down the street or in a cab or in a car with the window down. You'll hear like 3, 4 different languages in a city block and not know what language it is.
Man.
Have no idea what they're speaking.
That's awesome.
It is such an international city. You can get any kind of food everywhere. Now, unlike New Orleans, where you can go get like a shortstop po' boy, roast beef po' boy for $6.42. They don't have anything in New York like that. You can't get a slice of pizza for $6.42. Maybe $60.42. No, a slice of pizza is going to run you $10 plus.
At least.
At least.
It'd probably be good off the street.
No. There's lots of good pizza in New York, but I've often said this. New Orleans is as good a pizza city as New York or Chicago per capita.
Yeah.
We got like 380,000 folks, Chicago, I don't know. In the metro, it's 10 million. New York in the metro, 20 million.
Yeah.
Our metro, 1.2 million.
Yeah.
So Chicago's 10 times our size. New York, 20 times our size. Chicago does have 20 times the quality pizza joints, and New York doesn't have 20 times the quality pizza joints in New Orleans. No, per capita, number one in, pizza, arguably, and no one would really think that. We are clearly, number one in fried chicken per capita or not per capita. New York might be the number 2 city in America for fried chicken just because it's so big and they got so many places that serve it. And it's a bunch of Southern transplants, even some New Orleanians up there frying chicken. I love when folks are like, dude, this chicken place in Tennessee. I'm like, where? And they name some town. I'm like, I'm sure they have good fried chicken there. We got 50 places in New Orleans that serve fried chicken that's really, really good. I mentioned today on Twitter, on X, Little Dizzy's on Esplanade right off Claiborne's. Anyway, no, just New Orleans, you can get from $10 to, hundreds of dollars, everything in between. New York, it probably starts at, if New Orleans is 10, and I just mentioned shortstops, $6.42. I'm just rounding up. New York, it would be at least 20 on up. So hard to, get the inexpensive, great stuff in New York City that you can get in New Orleans. Hey, speaking of food, last night I posted it on Twitter, on X. I went to Trey Yen in Mandeville. So damn good. Sat at the bar talking with Joe Wong, one of the 5 Wong brothers, just reminiscing. They opened China Inn in Hammond back in 1971. Arguably the greatest chef in New Orleans history. This guy was a master and was a chemist too. He just understood cooking. Warren LaRuth. He turned my dad on to China Inn back in the early 70s. And then China Inn became Trey Yen in Hammond. And then in 1980, they opened a second location, Trey Yen in Mandeville. For 46 years, I've been going to Trey Yen in Mandeville since I was a tot. And my mom, dad, my 4 older brothers and sisters, my grandmother, we'd go to Trey Yen. We'd have that big round table in the back with that lazy Susan, the little mini table in the middle that spins, all the goodies on that, just turning the table, pulling stuff off. Chinese food's so good. Chinese cuisine at Trey Yen's off the charts good. Sharing it with people. No, I got the little, what is that little platter called? The, boy, I'm going blank. Mario, the brain is messed up lately. I don't know what it is. I got to stop sniffing glue out of those 55-gallon barrels, huh?
Yeah, man. Put down the drugs.
Yep. It's not drugs, just glue.
Put down the glue.
Just glue. Anyway, the Jade Garden Sampler is what it's called. And it's a spring roll, some that sliced pork, and a couple of butterfly shrimp. And I substituted the egg roll for a spring roll. And of course, I got Trey Yen's signature tong cho sauce on the side for dipping. I was just ladling that tong cho on the spring roll, on the shrimp, on the pork. Outstanding. And then I got my kind of go-to, this hot pepper chicken dish, which is so damn good. And then visiting with Joe and reminiscing about his family and my family and Warren LaRuth and telling stories. Just a good time last night. Sitting at the bar at Trey Yen in Mandeville. I love it. Trey Yen is just so damn good. So good. Go check it out tonight for dinner. Go to X, Twitter, at Corey Johnson. Follow me on Twitter on X and check out the video. Trey Yen in Mandeville. I love it. I love it. All right, let's jump into the program. I mentioned Steve Nelson, deputy mayor, is going to join us in the 5 o'clock power hour. And we're going to talk about infrastructure, sidewalks, streets, all that good stuff. Steve Nelson, if you remember that name, he used to join us. He was like number 2, number 3 in charge over at the Sewerage and Water Board under Goss and Corbin. And Steve Nelson knows the Sewage and Water Board backwards and forwards. I think Helena Moreno was smart to tap this guy to bring him in as a deputy mayor in New Orleans, because Steve Nelson is hardworking, honest, and knows what he's talking about. So he'll join us in the 5 o'clock powwow to talk about infrastructure in the Crescent City. Jazz Fest 2026 has released its daily schedule, not the cubes, with the stage assignments and the times, but just we know who is coming. Now we know the exact days they will be performing. And wow, a Meters reunion. This is incredible. They're going to be playing at the Sanger May 2nd. Basically, the original Meters as close as they can get to it. It's going to have George Porter Jr., the bassist. I walk sometimes at night, and I hate to keep repeating myself. Check it out on Twitter, on X. I posted something the other night. I was at the Maple Leaf. I kind of walk to the Maple Leaf. I sit on the bench outside, listen to some tunes for a while, and then walk home. Trying to get that dinner I eat kind of digested before I jump in the sack and knock out a little, I don't want to call it cardio, but just, moving around. George Porter, at least 3 out of 4 weeks a month, plays on Monday nights at the Maple Leaf. So it was nice seeing George and listening to George. George Porter, the original bassist with the Meters. Guitarist Leo Nocentelli. Zigaboo Modalesti will be on the drums. Cyril Neville, who joined the band kind of after the fact, not part of the original four, but joined the band in the 70s. And Ivan Neville, whose father, Art, an original Meters member, passed away in 2019. Art Neville was incredible. The way he would hit that Hammond organ, that pipey sound in organ. Art Neville, I guess Art, passing away. Ivan Neville of Dumpsta Funk will be on the keyboards. They'll be playing at the Sanger on May 2nd. That's a must go to. Going to look forward to that one. Hey, New Orleans, we had heat a few weeks ago. Now it's cold. If you need air conditioning or heat help, it's simple. In New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. When you need AC or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, go with the pros. Think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Total Maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Following the facts.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
Corey Johnson.
Every day, this program on radio, oh so fine, 93.9 FM. Make it one of your presets. Oh so fine, 93.9 FM. You can also check us out on the other side of the FM dial, New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. Make that one of your presets. And if you're not locked and loaded on those stations all day, I understand that. Speaking of locked and loaded, I think the show before me on 93.9 is called Locked and Loaded. I mean, if you think that's a conservative show or not. And then what? I think Alex Jones, the absolute lunatic who got sued saying the Sandy, Sandy Hook shooting wasn't real. He's on like middays on 93.9. He's absolutely out of his mind. Anyway, you can check us out on So Fine 93.9 FM, New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. And on TV, we're on Cox Channel 4 television statewide, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. We're also on Spectrum, Channel 333. That would be like Slidell, Covington, Mandeville. That's Trey Yen country, Gallagher's 527 country, Hammond, Homa, Thibodaux, Opelousas, all over the state. On Cox Channel 4, on Spectrum Channel 333. We're on X, Twitter, live every day from 4 to 6. We're on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. It don't cost nothing. Every day, the program on all those different outlets, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. If you're looking for an F-150 or an Explorer or a Mustang, honestly, you're looking for a Ford vehicle, why would you go anywhere else but the big store? Over 45 years, Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park taking care of you. And Ronnie Jr., part of the Lamarck Automotive Complex. I mean, he's going to eventually take over for Ronnie Jr. Yeah, I mean, seriously. You can go, Corey, it's your sponsor. Of course you're hyping them. If it was, Mario Brothers Ford, you'd be hyping them. 45 plus years, the big store in Kenner. Folks not only in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, go to the big store from the region, out of the state, flock to the big store in Kenner. It also happens to be home of the number one Lincoln dealership in the state. And then across the parish, over on the riverside of Jefferson in Harahan, Elmwood, Lamarck Crescent City Ford. If you own a business, you need a commercial truck, van, or SUV, Ronnie Lamarck's got you covered. Every day, this program on radio, television, social media, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. Yeah, you right. Did I mention a gorgeous day, 53 and sunny? Cold weather coming after tomorrow. We might hit like 67 tomorrow. And then 30s and 40s mostly, some 50s through the weekend into next week, like all the way to like Tuesday. Jazz Fest releasing their 2026 daily schedule, not the cubes, not the stage assignments and times, but the artists were announced, about a month ago? Now we know which day they will perform. And I think early tickets available too. Boy, our president, Donald Trump, is a trip, huh? Greenland. You remember Greenland? It was like Denmark saying, no, it's our territory. It's ridiculous. And Trump saying, hey, let the people decide in Greenland. Let them vote. I mean, I don't know the population of Denmark. Google that for us, Mario Brothers. I'm assuming around like 10 million, maybe like the size of Ohio or something like that. 10, 12 million folks in Denmark. Oh, no, Denver, yeah. Denver's probably got about 3 million, so Denver's probably about a third of the size of Denmark.
Yeah, it's 6 million.
6 million in Denmark, that's it? Denver's half the size of Denmark.
Yeah.
So 6 million in Denmark. They're like, no, it's, our territory, like Puerto Rico is United States territory. So Trump's like, let the people want it. The people in Greenland want it. Now the people of Greenland have said, we don't want to be part of America. We like being part of Denmark. And now Trump's saying, well, if the people like it or not. I mean, this guy is so wishy-washy. It's a trip. The people of Greenland want it. Well, we're going to take it if they want it or not. I think this is just a bunch of yapping. I don't think anything's going to happen. Greenland is a member of NATO, which we're a member of NATO. We already have a military presence there, a base. Denmark, Greenland would be like, bring in more military, expand the base, set up a second base, basically do whatever you want almost. I think there are about 50,000 people that live in Greenland, all obviously on the far southern tip 99% of them, the southern tip of this massive island. Anyway, the Greenland thing's like Canada, 51st state. And then, Trump's people, we can take it if we want to. We can take just about every country in the world, I would say, outside of China. What other country? I mean, I think we could take Russia. Trying to think which country. I mean, obviously we go to Canada, take them. It wouldn't even be a fight. Mexico, take them. Wouldn't be a fight. It's so silly. My point is silly. We could take them. I mean, probably China's the only country in the world we could not seize and take. So I don't even understand the point of the Greenland thing. They're a member of NATO. They're a friend of ours. They're an ally. They basically do anything we want as far as military presence. We don't have to seize it. We want their, natural resources. We could work a deal with them and get the natural resources. So this is just Trump talk, which is code for BS. Speaking of the Trumpster, he met with Maria Machado today at the White House, who is the winner of the Venezuelan election. This is another one. Great that the United States went into Venezuela and snagged Maduro. He's a scumbag, criminal, dictator, seized control of the country, lost the last election to Machado and claimed he didn't and stayed in as the president. So it's good he's gone. I don't think Machado needs President Trump. There, I did it again. Chump, the old Freudian slip. Doesn't need President Trump's approval to go be president of Venezuela. I think Machado could go into Venezuela and be president right away. I'm not saying that for certain, but I'm sure she could get with the generals, with the military. They're probably like, great, Maduro's gone. She won the election. That is like a consensus from everywhere in the world outside of probably like China and Russia, Cuba, North Korea, Iran. So I don't know. I'm Machado. I think she's handling it right. It's like the oil executives. Thank you, Mr. President. You're a great president. I mean, it's like these oil executives, if you think they think that and that's how they are naturally reacting and they love Trump, you're delusional. You're drunk. You're on crack. Someone biffed your head with a anvil. No, these oil executives are smart. They're CEOs of multi-billion-dollar international companies, many of them based in the United States. They know it's appease and placate President Trump. Pucker up, put on some lip gloss or lipstick, and kiss his rear end over and over again, and you'll get what you want. That they're smart. They appease and placate the president. But Machado is the Venezuelan winner of the last election. She's the president. And if the military's on board in Venezuela, she doesn't need Trump's approval. She doesn't need Trump's approval. This is just really ridiculous. But she's smart. She is appeasing and placating him. So much so, like, I'll give you the Nobel Peace Prize I won. We can share it. And then Trump says stuff like, she doesn't have the respect of the people. She won the election. She obviously has the respect of the people. Boy, UNO and Nicholls State, this is a federal probe or a federal investigation. Players accused of fixing games versus McNeese State. But a few UNO players, a few Nicholls State players. Federal indictment. 26 people involved, including about 15 players. I mean, they had the NBA thing a few months ago. Now this. It's inevitable. With legalized sports betting and everyone embracing it now, it's inevitable.
And exactly the level I would expect it, like low to mid-major college basketball. And if you read between the lines of the case, they at least made it way less obvious than the NBA guys, which just made it so obvious. But still, like you said, it felt inevitable.
It's all the same at the lower level, Mario. I mean, it's a bet and you're fixing the game. Why do you need Duke or, the major programs? You go to the minor programs where these kids don't have the NIL money. It costs you less to bribe them, to pay them off.
Yeah.
It's still a line. It's still Vegas. Someone's dropping $1 million or whatever on the game. That probably raises eyebrows.
100%.
But that's, why go with the big programs where it'll cost you more money and chance of being caught, bigger spotlight. Go to the minor programs if Vegas has a line.
Exactly. And you know me, I'm an NFL broadcaster. I'm not breaking any rules, but I do like to kind of sports bet for fun sometimes. I think it could be a good thing. It's been somewhat beneficial to sports, but like this is the bad side of it, you know? And like you said, this kind of felt inevitable. And I feel dirty because I've now broadcasted play-by-play corrupt basketball games.
Yeah.
Like, that hits really close to home for me.
Now, you were probably not born yet, Mario, but Tulane had this point shaving scandal with John Williams, not the John Williams from LSU, Hot Rod Williams from Tulane. And it was the, I think it was ZBT fraternity on the Tulane campus. I mean, there's a bunch of East Coast kids come in to Tulane as 18-year-old freshmen driving a BMW, Mercedes, Land Rover, you know, that type of thing. Rich kids that I guess, you know, chose Tulane or couldn't get into the Ivy League school, and Tulane was the second choice, whatever. And they come down here, they're entitlement, they're rich.
Yeah, in New Orleans,
and they paid off these players and fixed games, and they're at the frat house giggling and laughing over winning these bets, you know, and probably not for like 50 grand, like I won $1,000.
Yeah, but for them college kids, like that's a lot.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, even for the entitled kids that, you know, probably 10 grand a month, you know, check from mommy and daddy in the bank account to spend every month. But no, that happened at Tulane way, way, way back in the day. And there wasn't, you know, this type of, it was going through a bookie, you know, or doing it through Vegas or something like that. Anyway, yeah, nothing new. You throw gambling, you throw money at it. Money makes people funny. Money makes people funny. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Audubon Gutters. Get it and forget it. I'm talking about the Leaf Guard system, the only one-piece seamless debris shedding gutter on the market today. It's part of the gutter. It's not a cover or screen. It's funny. The so-called competitors, watch their TV commercial. They have leaves piled up on the screen or the cover on the gutter. Like you're still going to have to go on a ladder. It may not be in the gutter, but you're going to have to clear it off your house. Not with the Leaf Guard system, not with Audubon Gutters. Drew and his crew installed gutters on my house, and all they do are gutters, which is refreshing. You have a home or business and you need gutters installed, AudubonGutters.com for 35 years. New Orleans' own AudubonGutters.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's called more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
No, indeed, I don't want to be on the radio.
Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. Absolutely gorgeous day. Hey, it's early in 2026. It's January. It's not too late to implement that New Year's resolution. We're already a few days in. I'll have to wait till next year. No, you don't. Want to get in shape? StackedCoaching.com. I've been trying to get in shape for a few decades. It'll last like a month or two. I'll go run, I'll ride a bike, I'll go play tennis, whatever, and then I'm right back on the sofa. And then almost 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years in March, I hooked up with Bradley Schneller at StackedCoaching.com. His gym on River Road, right by the River Shack. River Road at Arnold, off Causeway. Convenient for everybody. I mean, you live in Old Metairie, it's right off Causeway and River Road. You live in Uptown, right down River Road. Mid-City, not hard to get to. Conveniently located. West Bank, come across the UEP. Easy. StackedCoaching.com. No, it'll be 2 years for me in March. It has literally changed my life. This guy he's a winner. I'll just tell you that. He comes up with just great stuff that's real. He doesn't just make up goofy sayings. Nutrition is for weight loss. Think about that. Nutrition, how you eat, is for weight loss. Fitness, that's for physical and mental wellness. And then he says this: you can't outwork a bad diet, like go to the gym and then just eat a bunch of butter and fettuccine Alfredo every day and fried foods. You know, that's not going to cut it. Nutrition is for weight loss. Fitness is for wellness. You can't outwork a bad diet. I like this too. Consistency over time equals success. That's how you get results. And want to be, successful? Hang around successful people. You want to be fit? Hang around fit people. It's pretty simple. Bradley Schneller joins us. StackedCoaching.com. Bradley, what's up, bro?
Nothing much, man. Just getting some steps in before the winter freeze comes in this weekend.
Well, I've been doing the hanging from the bar after the workout. I want you to tell us why that's important. And also, Lee, one of the guys at the gym, she's like, Corey, I walk 45 minutes after dinner before I go to bed every night. I've been doing that, walking from my house to the Maple Leaf on Oak Street, listening to music outside for about 10 minutes, and then walking back home. Part of the 10,000 steps. I don't know if I'm hitting 10,000 steps. I don't have a Fitbit or a watch. I guess I'm going to get one of those so I can also check my heart rate while the workout's going on. Why the hanging from the bar, and why is it important after dinner to go take a walk?
Yeah, so hanging from the bar does a lot of things, right? Like, it helps with shoulder mobility, which is super important as we age, right? It helps with grip strength, which is also directly correlated to longevity, mostly because the stronger your grip is an indicator of how strong you are as a person. And then on top of that, it helps with decompressing your spine. Makes the back feel a lot better, lengthens and stretches it.
Yep.
In terms of walking after dinner, I mean, it's a great way to get some more steps in and kind of relax your mind before you head off to bed. I like to say that walking is like a form of meditation. And it just kind of lets you relax. You know, you can have all your thoughts out while you're on a walk and then get ready to go to bed. But more importantly, it helps with digestion, which is a big key before going to bed. Because if you have a hard time digesting your food, you're not going to get into REM, and your sleep will be not as great.
Hey, Bradley, I snagged a few months ago one of those magnets that you have right by the door at stackedcoaching.com with the protein bubble, the carbs bubble, the fat bubble, and then how the three circles overlap and you got macros in the middle. Can we discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's a quick little guide to what type of foods or what, where you have, you know, it lists proteins. It's a Venn diagram, and the overlapping is where a certain food is like a carb and a fat, or a protein and a fat, right? Like you're very rarely going to have a protein and a carb together, unless it's a plant protein or manufactured, and then more likely you have a lot of proteins and fats together, or fats and carbohydrates, such as like an avocado, or an egg is a protein plus a fat. Whereas like a chicken breast, even though it has some fat in it, it's 98% protein. So we don't necessarily call it a protein and a fat.
And proteins, just kind of the simple stuff, like a lot of beef, chicken, poultry, seafood,
meat,
things
fish.
like that, right?
Yeah.
And what are proteins if you don't want to eat meat?
Yeah, so that's a lot harder. Not a harder question, but let's say you're a vegetarian or a vegan. Okay.
Yep.
Protein in vegetarian sources, okay, tend to be less bioready available, which means that it is harder for your body to pull the protein out of it upon digestion. So let's say, you know, on a, you know, omnivore diet, which means you eat plants and animals, okay, and you're eating for, you know, 160 grams of protein a day, like let's say that's your goal, which I think, Corey, I've told you somewhere around there. So let's say 160 grams of protein a day, and you eat an omnivore diet. Well, if you're a vegetarian, you might have to eat 200 grams of protein in order to get 160 grams of protein. And on top of that, you probably have to supplement with some sort of amino acid supplement, because most vegetarian proteins do not have the full amino acid profile. Basically meaning you're not going to get as great of a muscle building response as you do with animal protein.
And what would those proteins be, like lentils, beans, things like that?
Peas, they have some in there. I believe quinoa has some protein in there. I tell everybody this, like, I would go ahead and do a quick Google search if you're a vegetarian, you know, highest forms of protein for vegetables. And then, you know, try to eat maybe 1 1/4 the amount of your goal, just because it's going to be less. Now, the problem, and this is where becoming a vegetarian is tricky, is it's real easy to overconsume calories when you're trying to hit your protein goal, or you have to be way lower in fat. Now, most vegetarians, because they're trying to consume, I guess, more plants, okay, they start to find things like more processed foods, which I know is insane, but like, let's look at the Impossible Burger, right? So like a vegetarian's going to want to, you know, they don't want to eat a animal protein or an animal burger, so they eat an Impossible Burger, which is made up of, I don't know, if you look at the box, about 50 ingredients, and I'm not even kidding. And then on top of that, like, let's say beef, like a 1/4 pounder, okay, and I don't know this to be true or not, but let's say it's like 20 to 30 grams of protein and 20 grams of fat. Well, an Impossible Burger is more like 15 grams of protein and 30 grams of fat and 20 something carbs, something like that. And the calories are way higher. So it is much harder. You probably have to be a lot stricter if you're looking to improve your body composition and you're a vegetarian or a vegan. It's not impossible. It's just going to be harder.
And regular folks, I say regular folks that eat meat, that aren't vegetarian or vegan, you don't want to eat the skin on the chicken. You probably don't want, maybe more like a chicken breast than a thigh, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, again, all that stuff depends, right? Like I tell everybody, you can eat whatever you want. Like you can eat the skin on the chicken, which tastes fantastic, by the way.
Yep.
When done right. But you just have to sacrifice some fats elsewhere in order to keep your calories in check. Or carbohydrates, it depends, but I like people to eat their carbohydrates because it definitely increases their energy levels, which you have found out.
Yep, no doubt. You got me off of like ribeyes and New York strips. You're like, eat the filet. It's leaner. It doesn't have as much fat, right?
Yeah, no, again, that is only if you eat steak regularly.
Yeah, I eat it regularly.
Right? Yeah. So like if I'm going to eat a steak multiple times a week, I'm going to want it to be a filet, right? Now, if I'm going to eat, and again, that also depends on everything else going on. And what I mean by that is, I can have a ribeye once a week and it's no big deal.
Right.
As long as everything else is lean
Yep.
that week. Or I'm not following that ribeye up with a piece of king cake.
Yeah, no, exactly. Or fettuccine Alfredo. No, I think when we went to Doris Metropolitan a year or so ago, we both got the big ribeye.
Yeah, we also had about 4 cocktails.
Yep, that's true too. All right, turkey. A lot of people like that. That's lean, not a lot of fat. Bison, I guess, is the same thing. And then
Yeah, you gotta watch some of the bison though, but for the most part, it is pretty lean. What I love is ground venison. I'm super into that because it's really lean.
Deer, you're talking about.
Yep.
Hey, you don't call this a supplement. Protein powder, you call it a food. Why?
Yeah, I mean it's pure whey, right? It's derived. If you look at the back of a good whey protein powder, it might be like 99% whey protein and 1% some other stuff to make it taste good, right? So when it's something like that, and it's basically a food, right? Because whey protein is derived from dairy. They're just taking the whey out of it, so it's a food.
Let's talk carbs and fat next week. Bradley, it's a new year. How can folks get that New Year's resolution going at stackedcoaching.com?
Yeah, man, they can reach right out to us on Instagram at Stack Coaching. They go to our website, www.stackcoaching.com. They can look for us on Google. We have a whole Google page built out. Or you could stop by the shop, the gym, and my phone number's on the door, and you can reach me anytime you want.
Bradley, always a pleasure, brother. See you next week on the program. See you soon at your gym.
All right, man. Thanks.
Bradley Schneller, stackedcoaching.com.
Simlawn artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
Yes, I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Real New Orleans conversation.
No place like New Orleans.
Corey Johnson.
Mario, did you check out that LSU loss? I'm watching last night. I think LSU was up by like 12 at halftime against Kentucky, something like that.
Yeah, it's wild because I think last year, 2 years ago, LSU beat them on the same court on a buzzer beater.
Now, but this buzzer beater was, I've really never seen like the Christian Laettner redo. This was the Christian Laettner Kentucky game. Grant Hill throwing it to Christian Laettner, him catching it, turning around and shooting it. Exact same thing. The LSU guy jumping in front of the guy inbounding it under the basket, him just heaving it down court, just total Hail Mary, 1% chance, maybe. Literally, like 1%. Am I right?
No, 100%.
Like
LSU,
1 or 2% out of 100. The guy catches it, turns around, jacks it up, all net. Kentucky was down by 1. They win by 1.
Yes.
Just nauseating.
Which props, they made a great play there, but LSU down the stretch did so much to lose that game.
Ugh.
Like unforced turnovers, missed free throws, had 2 in the final seconds. The last 4 years since Will Wade left have been so bad, but somehow that felt like the worst loss.
That might be the straw that breaks the camel's back eventually. Like McMahon might be done. I'm not saying like right now, but if they have just a mediocre season, don't make the tournament, he's probably fired.
He probably regrets taking this job so much. He had a really good job in Murray State. They were going to the tournament. He just had a really tough job, and frankly, he has not done a good job. So
it's hard not to, though, Mario. ESPN calls you, you're not going to go?
Yeah, no, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, hindsight for sure, yeah.
You know, I remember like ESPN, I don't know about today, but 20, 30 years ago, they would like quiz you. You needed to know baseball, NHL, all this stuff. I was like, I'm not qualified to go to ESPN. I don't know anything about hockey or any of this.
Yep.
Now it's different, but if they would have called back then, not qualified, I would have gone.
Yeah, figured
and
out
then
later.
failed maybe or figured it out. Exactly. But no, how do you fault him for leaving Murray State and coming to LSU? But rumors are flying. Like we know Jeff Landry, the governor, who gets very involved in, athletics when he shouldn't. He loves Will Wade, and reportedly that was part of the Scott Woodward 86ing. Like Landry was pushing Woodward to hire Will Wade from McNeese before he went to NC State and get rid of McMahon, and that Woodward wouldn't do it. Now there's talk of maybe LSU trying to get Will Wade.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard like through the grapevine before that he did have interest, that they wanted him back, but he did not want to go back while Scott Woodward was there, with all their history. But Scott Woodward not being there anymore might accelerate that conversation.
No, and then you're complete.
Yeah.
You got a ridiculously good football coach, in Lane Kiffin. You've got one of the premier women's basketball coaches in the country, already got a national title under a belt in just the first few years. You got one of the premier baseball coaches in the country in Jay Johnson. What's he got? 1 or 2 titles?
2 rings.
Yeah, 2 titles. It's ridiculous. Damn. So you're set with those 3, and you get Will Wade back at basketball. You are rolling.
They need to make an effort to do that. That's probably LSU's best path back to success in men's basketball, because unfortunately it's kind of like a college version of the Saints and the Pelicans. Like LSU is going to allocate all their resources. They're going to sacrifice basketball to save football from their own independent investigation, which did happen before Will Wade left. So they have to just show that they care about men's basketball, man.
Yep. Jeff Dorson's going to join us in about 30 seconds on the program, New Orleans. Yeah, that would be absolutely incredible. Now, one thing LSU fans, I mean, I'm not saying you need to know this, but this is just how it works. When, I know LSU fans love baseball. Many LSU fans love baseball more than men's basketball. I love LSU baseball, but I want men's basketball to be the number 2 sport, not baseball. Not baseball. Baseball and women's hoops, they can battle it out for number 3. That's what you want. You want Mulkey and Jay Johnson battling it out for the number 3 sport. You want men's basketball number 2. Football brings in about 97% of the revenue. Men's basketball, like the other 3%. Every other sport, Jay Johnson, Mulkey, they lose money every year if they win the national title or not. Hey, Jeff Dorson joins us from the Humane Society of Louisiana. Jeff, it's Mardi Gras time. Let's take care of those horses. How you doing, man?
Hey, always a pleasure. And yeah, most people don't think of horses in Mardi Gras, but sure enough, they're part of it. And our job is to make sure once they ride in our parades, they get good homes.
Yep, it's the 2026 Mardi Gras Horse Adoption Program to protect parade horses from uncertain futures. Sadly, Jeff, before you got involved a few years ago, and by the way, you guys have saved over 100 horses. They go back to the broker. Who knows where they go from there? And you know for certain that some of them get shipped south of the border to Mexico and they're slaughtered. It's pathetic.
Yep, correct.
That's
So
using and abusing.
Yep. 2017, we started this program because we didn't know anything about it. We sat down with the Cascade stable owner who explained that she needs about 20 extra horses a year to fill the need to have riders and walkers with parade horses. We didn't know that. We thought they were all locally owned. And then we also, to our horror, discovered that they go back to the broker, like you said. And we thought that was pretty unfair. Here they are giving us their sweat and blood for 2 weeks, these horses. Surely we can do better than send them back to slaughter or broker or, some guy who doesn't want them. So it's turned out well. People look forward to it. They send in their applications early. This year we have 3 or 4 already adopted out of 20, so it's looking good.
And you guys vet these people. You're not giving a horse or selling these horses to just anyone. And it's amazing. Like a dog costs more. Like a dog breed that you go after costs more. It's what, about $700, $800 on the low end and maybe $1,200, $15 on the high end for these horse people to get a horse that was in the parades, right?
That's absolutely correct. So they get bragging rights that they say, hey, I've got a Mardi Gras horse. And they do that. There's little chat rooms and people brag and share pictures and send us really great uplifting stories about how they've fallen in love with this horse who didn't have much of a future. Most of them come from broken homes and, passed around, discarded like empty bottles. So this has been a really nice little success story. It's hard to do that in our industry where animals aren't treated very well very often, but this one works.
No, it's necessary. I mean, Jeff's right. We get these horses, they make our Mardi Gras special, the kids love them, and then after that we just send them back, and who cares what happens if they get slaughtered? That's ridiculous. We have to be responsible about this. So you horse folks out there, get in touch with the Humane Society, humanela.org. and adopt one of these Mardi Gras horses. Like I said, Jeff has saved 100 plus. What else is going on real quickly, Jeff?
Well, we're working with all these different, sheriffs and police with all these tips and leads, and sometimes we strike gold, and sure enough, they catch somebody being cruel, and they'll arrest them and charge them and book them, and that's what makes us happy.
And you need people to donate to help, right?
Always. Yep. HumaneLA.org.
HumaneLA.org. Please go to the website right now and donate $5, $10, $20. Jeff, always a pleasure. You're doing the great work.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you next week.
HumaneLA.org. Please donate and find out about adopting a Mardi Gras horse. Coming right back.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Mario, I'm going to have to revise my top 15, top 20 restaurants. I missed a few, man.
Yeah, there's a lot, man.
I missed a few. La Boca, someone reminded me about them. How do I miss La Boca? You know, you don't get a New York strip there or a filet or a ribeye. You get a flank steak, a skirt steak, you know, hanger, something like that. I mean, Argentine Steakhouse. Adolfo Garcia is the master.
There you go.
Corey Johnson back at you. Yeah, yesterday I rattled off my list of top 15, top 20 restaurants. I do that every now and then. We posted it on Twitter, on X, and how did I miss La Boca? I think I didn't have Katie's on there until the very end. What else did I miss? I had a few that I missed. Mandina's on Canal Street. What else? A few others. I was like upset, you know. You always, it's like giving the Oscars, you know, I want to thank my mom, my dad, and you forget your sister or something, you know, and then everyone's mad at you.
I mean, there's just so many. It's reasonable to miss a few.
Yep. I'm going to have to revise the list, Mario. It is a Thursday afternoon. It's the 5 o'clock powwow. Well, yeah, you're right. Steve Nelson, deputy mayor for infrastructure, essentially, under Helena Moreno, the new mayor. He's going to join us in about 15 minutes to discuss what they're doing, fixing streets, sidewalks, being really proactive, eliminating these outside contractors, getting city workers to do it, saving money. That's what you're supposed to do. So we'll talk with Steve Nelson, formerly of the Sewerage and Water Board. He was fantastic at the Sewerage and Water Board. I'm sure he'll be fantastic as deputy mayor, one of the deputy mayors. He'll join us in, I said 15 minutes, about 13 minutes. Steve Nelson, stick around for that. 5 o'clock power hours upon us. Yesterday, I was talking about it, or last hour, I was talking about last night. I went to Trey Yen in Mandeville last night, sat at the bar with Joe Wong, one of the 5 Wong brothers, had a great meal. Jade Garden sampler, this spring roll, couple of butterfly shrimp, this sliced pork, put that signature Tong Cho sauce that you only get at Trey Yen. Sweet yet spicy, fantastic. And then I got my kind of go-to, the hot pepper chicken. It's on X, it's on Twitter, I posted it. Mario, I beelined across the lake again today for lunch, and I went right across the street from Trey Yen. Gallagher's 527. I had the $24 lunch special, the shish kebab sizzling in butter with the green beans, the house salad to start, 6 different homemade dressing choices. I got the balsamic vinaigrette. It's fantastic. Not out of some 55-gallon drum from Cisco. Chef-driven, Pat Gallagher's, you know, one of his 6 homemade dressings. And then that ooey gooey dessert, I had about a third of that. The hot brownie with the vanilla ice cream and the hot chocolate on top. $24 lunch special. I spent $20 at Cane's, you know. Gallagher's 527 for lunch on the North Shore today. Trey Yen for dinner last night on the North Shore. From my house to the front door of Trey Yen, my house to the front door of Gallagher's, they're literally across the street from each other at the foot of the causeway. 35 minutes tops, 35 minutes. I live like, you know, the end of Oak Street, you know, right around there, the Carrollton neighborhood, right around the Sewage and Water Board. 35 minutes tops. So make the trip across the lake. You can't go wrong. Cross the causeway. On your left, it's Trey Yen. On your right, it's Gallagher's 527. Both are absolutely fantastic. I posted that sizzling shish kebab on my Twitter. at Corey Johnson on X. Just looking at it and then hearing the sizzle, I'm telling you, it tastes as good as it looks and sounds. So damn good. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. One of my top 15, top 20 restaurants, along with Trey Yen in the entire metro. Yeah, how did I miss La Boca? What a mistake. I apologize, Adolfo Garcia. Your Argentine steakhouse in the Warehouse District is unreal. During crawfish season, they have this crawfish empanada at La Boca. I'm telling you, it is the greatest, the best crawfish pie in the history of crawfish pies. This La Boca crawfish empanada during crawfish season. Fantastic. Boy, what a gorgeous day. Speaking of fantastic, 53 degrees, sunny. The sun's dropping out the sky now as we're heading towards dusk and nighttime. Tomorrow, we might hit 67 degrees. 67 tomorrow, possibly. Then the temperature's bottoming out. 30s, 40s, and some 50s through the weekend into like Tuesday of next week. So after we hit 67 tomorrow, 30s and 40s, a lot of that, and some 50s over the next 4 days, including through the weekend. Yeah, it's going to be nippy out there, cold out there. Get your hat, the big coat, the gloves, the wool scarf. Jazz Fest 2026. They have released their daily schedule. Now, a month ago, they released everybody coming. Now they're telling you where those folks will be playing. No, I shouldn't say where, which day they'll be playing. Now, the Cubes, still about a month or two away. The stage assignments, the exact times, the Cubes, that'll come in about 6-8 weeks. Boy, a Meters reunion. This is pretty cool. The Sanger, May 2nd. It's going to be the regular Meters. Sans Art Neville, who passed away about 5 years ago. His son, Ivan Neville of Dumpster Funk, will take over that Hammond organ. But it'll be Zigaboo Modalesti on drums, Leo Nocentelli on guitar, George Porter Jr. on bass. And he wasn't an original member from the late 60s, early 70s, but I think about 10 years in, late 70s, Cyril Neville joined as the fifth meter. He'll be there. It's the Sanger, May 2nd. I'll be there unless they sell that bad boy out. I'm not one to like, oh, the tickets go on sale at 10 and I'm online trying to get them. I'll probably go on later that day. If it's sold out, I'll miss the show, or, maybe a buddy of mine will get tickets and offer me one, that kind of thing. But I'm going to try to be at the Sanger May 2nd. I'd say about an 80-90% chance I'll be there. The Meters are fantastic. A lot of our bumper music, some of it, Meters, from like the Looky Pie CD album, whatever, the Meters album. These are like late 60s. This stuff's like 60 years old. They're rock and roll Hall of Famers, the Meters. And Jazz Fest 2026 releasing its daily schedule, and tickets available too. I think some early tickets and ticket deals. Our president, Donald Trump, is a trip. This Greenland thing's so funny, and it's typical Trump. First people are going, it's a NATO member, it's a Denmark territory. We're a member of NATO. They're our ally, both Greenland and Denmark. This is ridiculous. We're not taking Greenland. It goes into the same category of Canada as a 51st state. I mean, just insane talk, just crazy, Hey, we're going to go invade Mexico next. So it's Donald Trump with just weird, wacky agendas. I don't get it. A lot of it, I think, is just BS nonsense. I think just Trump talk, just talking to talk. But he first said when Denmark was saying it's our territory, you're not taking it, Trump was like, let the people of Greenland decide. They want to be part of the United States. They don't want to be part of Denmark. And then when the people spoke up, they're like, no, we love the United States. You got a military base here. We're glad to have you. You want to expand it? Let's talk about it. We got no problem with that, but we're in Denmark territory. We're going to stick with Denmark. And then Trump says, well, we'll take it if they like it or not. So first it was the people want it. The people of Greenland want it. They don't want to be with Denmark. They want to be with the United States. The people of Greenland speak up. Then Trump says, all right, we'll take it if they like it or not. Just ridiculous if they like it or not. This is our friend, you know? Hey, neighbor, can I get a cup of sugar? I'm out of sugar. No, I'm sorry. I've just got a little and I need it for the morning. Oh, I'm coming in and taking it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. This is our friend, our ally. We don't need Greenland. It doesn't need to be a U.S. territory. If we want, more military presence there, add another base, expand the base. If we want the precious, minerals, that kind of stuff, we'll work a deal. We can work a deal. They're our ally, our friend. This stuff is so dopey. And, like I've said in the past, Trump could come to your house and sleep with your wife. If you're a hardcore Trump supporter, you'd be like, yeah, I wasn't giving her enough attention. It's not a problem. Yeah, anything Trump does, a lot of you folks just justify it. It's crazy. Be a critical thinker. Follow the facts. It's okay to disagree with Trump if you love him. When I was a child, my parents were right 100% of the time. I love them unequivocally. As I grew as an adult, my love for them only grew. I love them more now than ever before, but I could disagree with them. I could think they're wrong and have a discussion about it. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I love them more now than when I agreed with them 100% as a child, but I thought like a child. So mom and dad are right on everything. When I became an adult, I was like, yeah, maybe my mom's not right on that. Maybe my dad's not right on that. And I love them more than when I was a child. You can disagree with Donald Trump. It's okay. It's okay. Doesn't mean you're a liberal or a Democrat. Just es loco. Hey, speaking of es loco, Maria Machado won the Venezuelan election. She doesn't need the United States or Trump to give her the thumbs up to take the country, to rightfully be president. All she needs to do is make sure the generals and the military are on her side, and she can just go walk back to her country and be president. Venezuela's not our country. Speaking of es loco, coming right back with Steve Nelson.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. If it's a weekday afternoon in New Orleans, it's got to be
It's a party every week, baby. Check it out.
Corey Johnson.
I guess he has an official title with the city of New Orleans. I'm calling the deputy mayor of infrastructure, formerly with the Sewage and Water Board, where he did a fantastic job under Ghassan Corbin. He would join me on the program all the time and ridiculously knowledgeable. It could be, some, what hitting the fan, like a flooding situation or a boil water advisory, or, some pumps went down and people are frustrated. And Steve Nelson never was, hiding, or Corey can't come on today, I'm busy. Always available. Every single time I asked, even when the, what was hitting the fan, he was ready to take the criticism. He was ready to come on. So now this guy is ridiculously knowledgeable, knows what he's doing, takes responsibility for everything. Steve Nelson joins us live again. How you doing, Steve?
Living the dream, Corey. Thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere, but I do have to be transparent. It's the team that gets it done.
Yeah, no doubt. You always have been that way, man. That's totally true. You did a great job with the Sewage and Water Board. Congratulations on the new gig with the city of New Orleans in the mayor's administration, Helena Moreno's new administration.
Yeah, thank you. I am so excited to be a part of that team. Yeah, so Deputy Chief Administrative Officer of Infrastructure, I think, is the official title, and Interim Director of Public Works. I've got to be approved by City Council first. But, yeah, she's got a great team. Her vision is impeccable. And you talk about a 24/7 mayor. She's texting me at like 11 o'clock on a Friday night about lighting and how we can cut down on theft. I mean, she is on it.
Yeah, speaking of lighting, what, day one, you guys are out in New Orleans East. She talks about what they're like, about 7-8% of all traffic signals or lights in the city are out, like 3,000 plus of around 54,000 total. Really smart. Let's go to the high crime areas. Let's go to the areas that have just an obsessive amount of darkness, and let's light it up. And she called it what, Lights On Initiative, and the Lights On campaign. You guys were there on Tuesday, right, in the East?
Yeah, Tuesday morning, like as we're working on transition stuff, she's pressing the Lights On Initiative, and again, has the vision and wherewithal to recognize there's a sprint and a marathon here. And the sprint being, let's find these areas in partnership across multiple departments where we need to have, public safety, or Deputy Mayor Safety and his staff putting together a plan of these are the areas where we've got highest levels of crime, where lighting would be the most effective, and then being able to send our contractors out there. And then at the same time, hiring on our own electricians. We have had 0 electricians able to do things like change fuses and change bulbs and fixtures. So we've got the requisition paperwork's going to be in tomorrow to start hiring our own in-house crews to start doing some of that routine work. So both of those things at the same time.
You turn on the lights in the kitchen and the roaches scatter, Steve.
That's it.
You got to have the lights on in the high crime areas, and it's a fact. It helps reduce crime compared to an area that's pitch black.
Exactly.
Hey, what was today? Treme neighborhood, and the city fixed a sidewalk. The city employees fixed a sidewalk. First time that's happened in 20 years because it's been contracted out, right?
That's correct. And I mean, we'll always have a need for contractors, whether it's lighting or paving or any of these other things. But, the ability to do even the most routine of items is critical to that basic tenet of her platform, of the mayor's platform, of delivering basic services. And so, like the repair today, it's a 3x3 patch of concrete. It's absolutely small. It's not a big deal, except for maybe the 90-year-old churchgoer who'd been like tripping and falling on it. It's very important to her. But what's critical for us internally is it's an opportunity for us to start training our internal crews and hiring dedicated staff to be able to start making those sorts of repairs in-house, which is going to be a lot more cost effective and get us back to a place where we're able to deliver.
And this was in front of a church in Treme where the sidewalk had been discombobulated for like half a decade, right? There's a bunch of seniors and elderly folks. Like, I mean, you and I, youngsters, or pseudo youngsters, we can just walk around and go through it and just be careful. Someone who's older, a senior especially, they could break an ankle or a leg. It's long overdue.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, for that individual location, absolutely important, critical, and that's setting the stage for the next chapter for us as a city to be able to deliver services and do it with our own resources.
See, this kind of blows me away. Post Katrina, FEMA, the feds give us billions of dollars to redo the roads. I mean, I don't know if someone gives me a lot of money and says go spend it on stuff like improve your house, get a new car, I'm going to go do that. And Nagin dragged his feet. Mitch Landrieu only, I think, got about 2-3% of the money spent. Junket Cantrell actually got it moving more than her two predecessors, but still very ineffectively, unorganized. And we've had to ask for extension after extension after extension, just absolutely crazy. What's the latest status on that? The federal money. I know we have an extension for some of that till June. Going to seek another extension. Obviously, got to have the money, and we have to be organized, and we have to have a plan to spend it effectively and efficiently, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And so, as with our DPW group, really talented, hardworking folks that are there just need to be equipped and have more resources put in there. We have a good project management team. We've got a good group of folks within what we refer to as our JIRR, Joint Infrastructure Road Recovery Program, and a program manager consultant that is putting together and has a roadmap for us. And I think that the key is being able to communicate and bring the roadmap to the right people. And I think you see that with this administration. I think the clearest illustration, or an illustration, was the $125 million loan and this 6-month extension that we currently got. I mean, the mayor's able to walk into spaces and be able to share vision. And I think that's going to be the critical piece for us, is putting that roadmap in front of the right people and being able to communicate that we are making progress. We have a plan, and here's how we're going to get there. And here are benchmarks and the roadmap that you can hold us accountable to, so that that it's transparent, that it's not just hey, kind of trust us and give us X amount of time, but here are the goalposts we have to hit.
Boy, Steve, if you think about this all at one time, it can be overwhelming, I would imagine. You got to take kind of the one bite at a time of the elephant approach, right?
Yeah, that analogy, I mentioned that same analogy to somebody this week, and they had never heard that. So I wasn't sure if that was like a Northwest thing or if I was missing something. But eating the elephant one bite at a time is the key. And just like with the Lights On program, it matters which bites you take too.
Yep.
So you got to take the right bites at the right time. And, we don't want to get into a place where we're biting off too much and we can't deliver, or we just aren't eating. We got to start with one bite at a time and keep eating till we're done.
It's so amazing sometimes. Like I'll go get something like at Lillette on Magazine, and I forget the side street. Oh, it's Anatone, I think, and it goes by Superior Grill to St. Charles Avenue, and I barely could drive my car down that street. Now you could roll a marble down that street. It's been totally paved, and you're like,
Yeah.
It's just amazing, you know?
Yep, and that's an example. I think that's a mill and overlay project, and that's the sort of thing where it's it's not a full depth repair, but you end up with a finished surface that's just gorgeous. And it, instead of taking 6 months or 2 years, it's 2 days. You go in one
Literally.
day, mill it down,
Literally.
and then it's not nearly as disruptive to our customers. And then also on top of that, when you're not digging all the way down into the base, you don't end up disturbing the water lines and sewer lines and other things. So you'll probably get instances where you have a leak pop up if you're not doing a full project, but you have a lot fewer instances of that classic trope where the repair gets done and a week later somebody's digging it up again.
What is milling? That like scraping machine?
Yeah, it's a machine that basically grinds the top 2 inches off, so it takes off the irregularities in the surface and gives you a substrate that you can then put. They call it hot mix, a wearing course of hot mix asphalt on top.
Why don't we use the milling machine even when we're not going to put the asphalt on top? And I'm not talking about milling an entire street, but like those curves on Wisner around Bayou St. John. Not only is your car turning and you're doing like 35 or 40, they got these like little pinched lips of the asphalt. Like I would rather have the scraped there than the little pinched lip, which just beats the crap out of the front end of your car. I mean, it seems like the milling scraping machine, they should be working 24/7, and the pothole fixers, they should be out there 24/7 basically.
Well, I know we've got pothole fixers out there filling hundreds of potholes a day. Believe it or not, we've got 3 trucks that are running most days of the week. We do not actually, maybe not a surprise, but we don't have a mill and overlay crew. But that's part of the vision, is to purchase mill and overlay equipment and be able to do that in-house, so we can do full blocks in-house.
No, it would be great to do the full blocks like Anatine or whatever that street is that runs by Superior Grill. And like you said, they laid the new asphalt. It's smooth. I said you can roll a marble down it. But just like River Road and places that have these little, like I call it like a pinched lip, like, shave those down. Even if you're not putting asphalt on top, it would be an improvement.
Yeah, make it easy. Yeah, so you're not high centering your car as you're changing lanes.
And even like striping. Like I turn off Poydras on St. Charles Avenue heading towards Tivoli Circle, Old Lee Circle. I mean, if you're from out of town, you're like 1-lane street, 2-lane street. Can I park on the side? I mean, only a local knows it's a 2-lane street. You can't even see the white stripes. I mean, even if the street needs to be paved or fixed, if it doesn't have striping, I think that would be a benefit. Just laying down striping until y'all get to fixing the street properly.
That's right, Corey. You're speaking my language. My deputy director, Shannon Blanks, she is great. She came into my office this afternoon and we were talking about that very thing, being able to put striping down. And I mean, some things are a little more challenging than others, but just talking about the benefit of being able to have a striping machine and a trained, skilled crew to do that does exactly what you're talking about. Even if it's simple stuff like the skip stripe down the center, when you don't have it, it might be a 3-lane road, but it's kind of getting treated like a 1.5-lane road sometimes.
Call me crazy, Steve. I know everybody has GPS now. They're called street signs. I mean, my God, right. Pre-GPS, if you were from out of town, you wouldn't know where the interstate is. You wouldn't know what street you're on. Got to drive 4, 5, 6 blocks, keep looking at the corner to know you're on the street you want. I mean, boy, a lot of street signs missing all over the metro, all over New Orleans.
Yes, that's I got to claim a little bit of ignorance. I was figuring the number one issue that I'd hear would be potholes, but really the number one issue is lighting right now, and addressing. That's why that Lights On initiative is so front and center. And the number 2 issue I hear in a number of quarters and from the mayor as well is indeed signage. Because even with GPS, if you can't tell what intersection you're at, I'm surprised myself at how many instances I run into, even with the phone on in the background, of where I've got to check a street sign to see where I am.
Hey, Steve, is there a way people can send you an email, even like a video or photo of something that's just out of control? I'll just give you a couple of examples. Carrollton Avenue going southbound. You pass Jesuit, you go through Banks. You're on the left lane, you're approaching Errato and Tulane. There is a dip by Errato that will rip your oil pan out. They've done like a little BS patch job, but it's not good enough. The other side of Carrollton, you're coming from uptown going north. You're going through, by Xavier, going through Palmetto and Washington, but you're not getting on the interstate by Carrollton. You're staying in that right lane going straight. There's this like concrete lip right there, right before the dip, where it goes under the train tracks. And, it will bust your axle. And people know if they get a blowout, a bent rim, their front end's ruined, it could be thousands of dollars of car damage. Suing the city, getting compensation could take a long time. Is there a way people can, send you video of stuff that is just off the charts, out of control, that needed to be fixed years ago? These things have been this way for a few years now. It's obnoxious.
Yeah, the best way to report something right now is through 311. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to work on a tool, and that is something that we are working on. The city got an asset management program just this last year so that we can prioritize. With the 311 system, one of the challenges is, or has been, that there's not really a priority system within that phone database.
Yep.
So when it goes in, it's all kind of lumped into the same. And so with our new asset management system, as we're inspecting and cataloging requests, we should have the ability to be able to categorize and put an emphasis on stuff like that. So that is, for the moment, the best thing that we can do is have customers call 311, and you can attach video to it, and we'll get an inspector on site and get that cataloged. And we're continuing to work through. That's another big initiative, is the communications piece and just putting average timelines on things. So that was one of the things we were able to do at the Sewerage and Water Board, was to be able to determine, the utility does tens of thousands of work orders a year. So if nothing else, we've got the data that tells us how long it takes to do something. We need to have the same set of tools for people, for the Department of Public Works, so that folks can, set expectations and know how to live their lives. Even if it is too long, which many of those timelines currently are too long, we've got to have a roadmap for people to be able to understand that we feel their pain and we've got a path forward.
Wouldn't it be good to have not a website, but an email address where people could send photos and videos and you guys could see it? I think 311 is great, but I remember Michael Heck, when he was brought in by Jeff Landry to help get the city ready for the Super Bowl. They had a website where folks were sending in like infrastructure problems that are a major, problem that needed to be fixed, and they'd send a photo or a video, and it just something you can see, touch, feel almost with the pictures and the video.
Yeah, so I think what you're referring to is what we're about to launch, which is the Infrastructure Coordination Council. And this is another executive order and initiative that the mayor has put out and put forward, is a committee that'll be chaired by myself, and that will feature Mike Hecht on it, as well as kind of a co-chair with me, bringing together all of the utility and infrastructure purveyors and providers in the city to start laying out not just a meeting, but a tool for us to be able to catalog big programs, big projects, and singular issues like you're talking about.
Yep. I literally was going to go to Joey Helm at Helm Paint and Decorating and get like a box of bright yellow spray paint and put an X on the street and let people know, like, in 50 yards, 100 yards, directly in front of this X is a major road hazard, pothole, lip that could hurt your car, and then spray the yellow paint around that. I know that sounds sort of like, no, Corey, let's fix it. I'm all for let's fix it. But because the elephant's so big, is there any thought of doing something like that till it is repaired to warn people before their car gets crushed?
Yeah, making a site safe. Yeah, that is absolutely a great suggestion, something that we can start implementing and bringing in with this Infrastructure Coordination Council.
Yep. Hey, going backwards, Steve, the one bite of the elephant thing. How do you know what's that you were talking about? You got to know which bite to eat first. Like a road that has major problems, those are obvious. But then like that on-ramp on Earhart to the Broad Street Bridge is closed, which I don't even understand that. Like the ramp isn't roadworthy, but the bridge is. They're the same thing, same era. I mean, a truck would have had to hit it or something. I just don't understand why that ramp's closed. I think there's something else to that. And then, like, I think the Elysian Fields overpass at Florida Avenue by the Lowe's, you remember underneath the pilings are cracked, the supports of the bridge are cracked. But you'd never know riding on the bridge. How do you know which things, part of the elephant to bite first? How do you prioritize that stuff?
Well, it starts with being able to have asset management. And again, like I mentioned, we've got an asset management program that was just purchased last year that we're in the process of implementing. And with respect to bridges, we have a bridge engineer that helps us prioritize some of these things. And, it's a matter of, resources, risk, and where to be able to apply those resources for the greatest benefit.
Yep.
So
Corey Johnson's
one of the things I know the CAO Caruso Joe is working feverishly day and night is on revenue and getting our books right and making sure we can operate correctly. And then also, the mayor's doing the same thing. So being able to have the data and the information up front, and that has to be coupled with the funding to be able to execute the work.
You were fading out there for a second. What did you say at the end? You there, Steve?
Nope. Yeah, I'm sorry. I lost you there for a second.
Yep. Corey Johnson's been wrong in the past. He'll admit it, but I think that on-ramp on Earhart to that Broad Street overpass, if that ramp's got a problem, I think the bridge has a problem. I don't know why they shut down that ramp. It's a major,
I'll have to look into that one for sure.
Yep. Hey, Steve, any final thoughts before we do it again down the road?
Just really appreciate you having me on the air. Appreciate the time, and I am just really excited to be a part of this group and really excited for where New Orleans is headed.
Well, I think the mayor was smart to bring you on board. I'm not just saying this to appease you or placate you. The reason I've had you on the show so much is because, like I said, leading into it, you are always available, good times, bad times. You and Ghassan Corbin at the Sewage and Water Board did an absolutely fantastic job. I think you guys got accomplished in the last 7 years more than was accomplished in the last 70 at the Sewage and Water Board. I mean, it's, the water towers to keep water pressure up, the smart meters, getting rid of the clowns that were stealing brass, the handicap parking jokers, getting rid of them, the $300 million power substation. I can go on and on and on. You guys did a lot of stuff at the Sewage and Water Board. Like I said, more in 7 years than the last 70.
Yeah, that team over there has done a great job, and I basically stood on or next to the shoulders of the people that got that handled. Like you mentioned, Ghassan had great vision. That's been carried through really, really well, and just to not have to worry about turbine 4 anymore, and to know that you're going to get a read on your meter every hour as opposed to every other month is just it's a completely different place than the board's been for a long time. So I'm really happy for that group and really grateful to have been a part of what they've got going on over there with Randy and the rest of the crew.
Steve, you do 50%, 75% of what you did at the Sewage and Water Board. It'll be a grand slam home run. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much, Corey. And again, never me, always the team. I'm just here to help encourage and equip, and all credit to those guys, and thank God for the opportunity.
Well, you and your team or the team you work with, keep up the great work.
Will do. Thanks, Corey.
That's Steve Nelson with the City of New Orleans, Deputy Mayor, basically of infrastructure, who he's legit. He's has done a great job. I think that's a great move by the city. You know, that gives you hope, and you have some expectations of the city moving in a positive direction when like a Steve Nelson's part of that. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday, 5:00 powwow. We're coming right back.
Look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Hey, today at my house in the backyard, the fence man and his crew came in and dug holes, put in the poles, the concrete. It's all hardening up as we speak. Tomorrow, they're coming in and putting in my fence in the entire backyard. I'm very fired up about it. I'm getting a nice 6-foot-high fence from the fence man. And my gate, I have a kind of white picket fence around my driveway, kind of in the front of the house. The gate, that picket fence, a contractor guy built it, did a pretty good job. Built it about 5 years ago. The hinges on the gate were bad. Fence man came in, got my gate working again. Perfectly. Like, I walked in and he's like, the gate's fixed. I'm like, already? And then it just closes and opens perfectly, brand new. I'm like blown away. When you need a fence or an automatic gate for your home, business, or any property, you got to see the Fence Man. New Orleans own, thefenceman-neworleans.com. Check them out online, thefenceman-neworleans.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. If you gotta have a fence, you gotta see the Fence Man, a locally owned, fully insured fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years. You gotta see the Fence Man, thefenceman-neworleans.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
It's a hell of a lot easier than when I delivered pizza in New Orleans. What the hell? We're all just blocking the street. We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. We're all just blocking the street. Ah, screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Yeah, stop blocking the street.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Wow, this is unbelievable. You know, during the breaks, I try to scour news sources in case something pops up. Travers Mackle on X. Sources say Helena Moreno and her team are locked out of City of NOLA social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and X, as the Cantrell administration didn't leave any passwords or user info behind. They're working with Meta to access the city accounts. Like, somebody called Junkie Cantrell and asked for the info, or some of her people, and no one's given it up? Absolutely crazy. Junkie Cantrell is beyond petty. So glad she is gone, huh? I mean, belligerent, unorganized, selfish, pathetic. I mean, the nickname Junkie Cantrell. Sources say Helena Moreno and her team are locked out of, quote, City of NOLA social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and X, as the Cantrell administration didn't leave any passwords or user info behind. They're working with Meta to access city accounts. Just absolutely crazy. Now that woman is a lunatic, you know? She really is. And look, I don't want to step on anyone or wish, definitely not bad health to anyone. Seriously, I don't wish any bad health to Junkie Cantrell. But what I'm getting at, Junkie Cantrell needs to serve some time behind bars. You know, I talk about people that do bad stuff and especially like white collar crime in New Orleans, get away with it. Now bring up Irvin Mayfield. He's the poster boy for this. Stole $1.3 million from the public library system, was incarcerated for less than 11 months. And at a country club type jail, Eglin Air Force Base in Pensacola for the first 7, and then the last 3 or 4 in a halfway house in New Orleans. It's like white collar crime does pay. You want to disrupt people's lives. I had Jeff Dorson on from the Humane Society, somebody that abuses animals, that next it's going to be people. What you want to do with people like that, especially the severe cases, put them in jail where it adversely affects their life. Like they lose their job. They might not be able to pay their mortgage. They lose their home. And that sends a message not only to those idiots, but anybody else that's thinking of being an idiot like that. Like, wow, I could go to jail, and it's real jail time. I mean, Irvin Mayfield, 11 months. Honestly, I've said this before. I'll say it again. If someone offered you $1.3 million, you go to Eglin Air Force Base where you can play tennis and golf, have crawfish bowls on the weekend for 7 months, and then you come back to New Orleans to a halfway house where you can order great food coming in and things like that for 4 months. So 11 months later, you walk off with 1.3 million. I would think 90% of the population would do. The only people that wouldn't take that, rich and wealthy people. Anybody else like below rich or wealthy would take. Hell, some rich people might take it. I'm going to get an additional 1.3 million. Hell, I'll go to Eglin. I'll work out. I'll read a bunch of books. I'll get healthy. The halfway house. I'll come back in town. I'll order, great food, get it brought in. And then in 11 months' time, you walk with 1.3 million. No, it's sinful. Anyone would take that deal. No, Junket Cantrell needs to go to jail for I don't care what the time is, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever. Soon she will either plead guilty. I think it's about a 50-50 chance because she's such a moron. She might be like, I can win this thing in court. Or even if I'm found guilty, the judge may only give me probation or something like that. I don't know how she thinks. She doesn't think logically. So she's either going to plead guilty or go to trial, but the end result needs to be some jail time. She pleads guilty and there's no jail time. I think that would just be a major mistake, and it would send a terrible signal. It gets the deviant joker types going, hey, I'm going to run for office to enrich myself for my friends and family, and there's no repercussions really if I get caught. And there needs to be repercussions. Lessons need to be learned for that individual. And more than that, bigger than that, the message needs to be sent out to other loser deviants out there, like, don't run for public office. Man, I loved it post-Katrina when you had Jim Bernazani running the FBI. You had Bob Sarasoli at the IG's office, and you had Jim Letton as the U.S. Attorney, Eastern District of Louisiana. Like every quarter, it was incredible. Like every 2 or 3 months, there'd be a press conference, and they'd be indicting someone, either a politician or some city contractor. And then that person would go, I'm innocent, and then a month later would plead guilty and go to jail. And it just rinse and repeat over and over again. Not only was it effective getting rid of the clowns, but it sent a message out to the other clowns, the deviants, like, don't run for public office. Don't get a city contract. This trio will come get you. They'll come get you. We need that aggressive approach again in New Orleans. We really do. Boy, what a gorgeous day today was. Tomorrow, we might hit 67. And then after that, 30s and 40s and 50s through the weekend into next week, like into Tuesday. Yeah, we've got a little wintry mix coming our way after we hit 67 tomorrow. We've had it the last few days. Yesterday morning, this morning, very cold in the morning. But we might hit 67 tomorrow. It's like, go lay out by the pool. And then 30s and 40s and 50s. No, it's January. It should be that way. Hey, dinner tonight till 9:30, Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton and Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Shish kebab, lamb chops, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. Get there tonight. Open till 9:30, Lebanon's Cafe. So good. Just really, really good. Gorgeous day, New Orleans. Jazz Fest has released its daily schedule, not the cubes. We don't know stage assignments or times. That'll come in about the next 6 weeks or so. Hey, Mardi Gras, 4 weeks from Tuesday? That quick? If you go to any of it's like 70 plus Rouses now. They're all over the place. If you go to any Rouses, you will smell that scent of I think it's like 50, 60-year-old recipe of that great dough and cinnamon king cakes being baked at all the Rouse's locations. Fresh king cakes. You can buy the whole king cake. You can buy them by the piece. About 20 plus different, cream-filled king cakes to choose from. I'm just kind of a, standard king cake guy. I like the cinnamon dough with the icing. And I love Rouse's has not only full king cakes, but you can get individual slices in a little box. It's king cake season. That means Rouse's Markets. And if you want to send it to friends and family around the United States, Rouses.com. Go to their website. Send a king cake to friends and family anywhere in the United States. Rouses.com. What's that, Blue Boy? You're the king? You are the king. Oh, you want a slice of king cake? I hear you, buddy. See you to mañana, Fantasy Friday, right here.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.